How you going, guys? John from Outdoors 4x4. Another install video. Commodore VE SS seats into the GU Patrol. Been wanting to do this for a while now. The Patrol seats are just so harsh on your back, especially if you're doing, hours and hours of driving, and there's no better option than a VE or a forward seat. I chose the VE because they're a little bit more comfier and they look a little bit better. Sure, you pay a little bit more than the forward seat, but you pay for what you get for. Now, to get the Commodore seat to fit a Patrol seat rail, you got to get Huracan Fabrication seat adapter kits. Now you can look them up, www.huracanfabrication.com. They do them for 79 cruisers, obviously Patrols, 80 series I think as well, but mostly your Fords and your Holden seats, and can't get more comfier than that. So I'll be doing a passenger and driver side seat today, and I'll show you how it's done. Righto, so this is the driver's seat. I can see Patrol seat. So what you got to do is you got to take your front cover off down the front here. That's just 2 clips. One in the front, one on the side, and it's just, you can't be going from the back, push them out, and you'll be able to get that front cover off. Undo your electricals underneath. There's a seat belt and the actuators for your up and down on your seat. Simply put your hands underneath there, disconnect them. So do all that first. Then you got 4 bolts, I think it is, 14mm, 2 at the front, 2 at the back. Undo them and then fully take your seat out. So we'll go ahead and start undoing everything that we need to do. So that's the 2 front ones done. We'll do the other 2 back. And what you should do is actually move your seat forward so you can get to those back 2 ones. And I should have done that before I disconnected the power to it. So connect your power back up and move your seat forward to get to the bolts easier. Then undo them. Righto, so that's the 4 bolts. Put your seat back, because I'm guessing your steering wheel is going to get in the way a little bit when you want to get the seat out. So I'll disconnect the power. Now that seat should be ready to come out. Oh, she's heavy. Right, and just check what goodies you got underneath your chair. Union card, earplugs, rock. Nothing really good. A bit disappointing. So make sure you save your 4 mounting nuts. And that's how to get the seat out. We'll go into putting the bracketry on the new VE seat. Right, so first thing you actually need to do is get your old Patrol seat and actually take off your old seat belt, buckle, adapter thing, and electrical wire for your, let you know that you're not wearing your seat belt. So take that off your old seat. That's going to get adapted onto the Huracan Fabrication seat adapters. So I think that's, I don't know, maybe 14mm. I think I left my 14mm out there. Try a little one. That's a 14mm. So make sure you save all the circlip and spacer and nut from that, because you're going to use them for your seat adapters. So there's a little clip holding the wire, then there's a little cable tie that will cut off as well. Righto, so save that off the patrol seat, that's going onto your new VE seat. That's all you need from the patrol seat. You can sell that, chuck that away now. Righto, so your next step is to grab your new VE seat and take off the whole seat rail, your whole seat rail slider and all that. So it's usually 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. I think they're 13mm. Take them 4 off, and then you'll be ready to put on your Huracan fabrication seat adapters on. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that should be ready to come off. Keep those as well. And that's ready to come off. Right, so you got your bare seat now. So this is ready for your Huracan fabrication seat adapter to go on. Now, it's a pretty simple kit. It may be daunting when you first get it, but once you actually read the instructions and it all comes together, it's actually quite easy. So for your VEs, your first one is your bigger kind of thing, adapter to the front. Make sure you put your spacers on there first too. So with your VEs, these spacers, once I get the other one, go on the front. I think it's with your holdens, it goes on the back. That goes on like that. Right, so front rail goes on, it's more of the bigger one. That one goes to the front of the seat. Make sure your spacers are on there too as well. Then you put on your back one, like so. If you can see that, it goes on that way, so that way to the back of the seat. And what you can do now is loosely fit those 4 13mm nuts that you took off. So just loosely fit those under there, finger tight, like so. Now I usually just kind of eye off to make it center, but you're going to change it back and forth while you're trying to get it square to your steering wheel. Next one is putting your sliders on. Now, Huracan Fab have done an exceptional job of packaging these with all bubble wrap. Down there. Put some more sticky tape. I'm going to need a knife. Right. there's one slider. Get the other one out. Beautiful. So what I do is I push the slider in as far as I can. Get your thumb in there. Oh, failing. Yeah, so push down the slider, get your thumb inside and just push the slider out so you can just see the front holes. Now you're going to have to change that up again and push the slider back so you can do the back ones up. So do that for both. Get that one ready. I'll do the other one. Right, so it's time to put your sliders on. Now Huracan Fab give you all your nuts and bolts to mount everything. So it's 4 butthead Allen keys to mount your sliders. But for the moment I'm just going to grab 2. Now for these ones, I'm going to mount them butt head facing down. Once I get my hand in there. Right, and I'll put the other slider on. Now I'm just using the last holes on the sliders. Right, so that's the front. So push your slider back in so you can get to your next holes down the bottom, and that should line up perfectly, and it does. Do that for the other side. And voila, there it is. So another 2 for the back of the slider. Once I can get everything out of this, now for the back ones, I'm going to do the opposite, and the Allen key head's actually going to go up through there so the nut is actually poking out. Using the last hole on the slider again, that matches up with the rest of the hole. Right, so there's your sliders in. So now it's to the actual frame, we've got to centre it. So get your 13mm spanner out, tape measure, and try and get that sent up best as you can. We are going to move a little bit once you put it in the car just to center it to get to the steering wheel. I find that's the best way because you can get underneath and you can undo it and kind of move the seat as well. So we'll try and get that kind of center. Alright. Now for the sliders, that's your next one to do up. So we'll get the tape measure. So from each nut inside the slider, it's got to be 440 mil. See, that one's going to come across a little bit, and so does that. So that's 440 there. And what we'll do is we'll do the front. That one doesn't have much play. So that's actually 440 there already. So what we'll do is we'll get the Allen key and probably a shifter onto that one and do those up. So just make sure you got 440 from nut to nut on your sliders. So the top is 440 and do that up. Now it might move a little bit, so you can correct it later on. We'll check that one. 440. Just check that again. 440. Righto, so just push your slider back down again, just so you can get to the rest of those nuts that we talked about last time. Right, so we'll probably need the Allen key for this one, and then we'll just do them up by ratchet. Make sure you remember to check that there's 440. So I'll do this one up. It's probably the easiest to get to at the moment. That reminds me, got to take that cover off as well on the side. It makes it a lot easier when you do your seat belt. Now this is just clipped in over, so like that. You'll be able to get your Allen key in there better now, and it makes it a whole lot easier the seat belt. Leave your Allen key in there and just check that it's 440. Tighten that up. Get your Allen key out. Now for the hard one. This one is painful to get into. Righto, check the 440. So they even supply her with a lever for the sliders as well. Now this has a slight little bit of a bend in it. So obviously the bend goes away from the seat, so you got leverage to pull it up to set your slider. Now they just go into these tabs. There's holes on either side. Line them up. You might, yeah, that works. And you might just have to give these a tap. Right, that one went in. Yeah, I'll just give this a little tap with the copper hammer. And voila, slider is in. So now you'll be able to, yep, move your slider up and down. And that's locked in. Now it's time to put the legs on. Oh. Now you got to make sure you get these legs right. So that is the side that goes to the console, and that will be the side for the driver's side. So if you actually look at your legs, this one will have a little Y piece in it. That will go towards your door of your driver's side, so it has that neat kind of flush look for when you open your door. Flat part goes to the driver's side, that's right, and back to the, that is the front, sorry. That is the driver's side. That's an airbag switch. Right. Correction. That is the front. So you line them up. Here's the first hole and the second hole. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is a bag of nuts. I'll push my slider down. And put my Allen key butt head in the second hole from the bottom and face it up. That's because the nut that connects a slider on there is facing inwards. So if I have the nut facing the other nut, the thread's probably going to catch when I do the slider. Now for the other one, I'll do the same once I push this up. Push it all the way, give me some room to get tools in. I'll do the same for this one. voila. Right, so I'll give you a look where I'm actually up to, a closer look. So I'm going to go through with the GoPro and actually just give you a closer look. So as you can see, this is part of the new back rail. So that gets bolted on. That was one of the first step. You mount this one on, and also your front rail here, you mount that one on as well. Next will be your sliders. So you mount this slider on here, that'll be the bolt there. Push that slider forward and there'll be another bolt in there. And then you mount your legs. So this is one leg, that is the driver's side, and then you mount your passenger as well, which will be that way. Always remember the back flat parts on a patrol on the legs are the back part. Or you look at this curve and that goes outside. So we'll mount this on. You just have to be careful with this one, is you got to put your butt head on the inside, so the butt head sits on here, your nut comes out there. So I do this, you'll see that I did this on the inside, so this thread didn't hit when I put the butt head into here, so they will move freely. That's why you put this one upside down. I found that out the hard way. So I'll get into mounting on this leg onto this side, and then we'll probably tighten it all up, put it in the car, and we'll get it sorted and we'll get it in. So with this side as well, we're going to mount the seat belt holder as well, and electrical. So there's a little bracket that they give you for that as well, so put that in there too. So we'll do this one. Second last from the bottom. Now that sucker on. Right, push this one forward. Now this one's going to go back to front. Now this one, going to have to get some pliers or something to do this one up. Right, so we'll do this side first. Oh, and I missed a bit. Seat belt. Got to put the seat belt holder on. Now, actually give you a look at that. So Huracan Fab actually give you a seatbelt holder bracket too. So if you can see, you get 3 holes for adjustment as well. There is one for each side, so if the hole doesn't line up, you've got the wrong one. Swap it over and the hole match up and you'll get the right one. So you just put that on. That one will just go on to your passenger, well not your passenger, your side that goes to the console up the back. You just screw it onto your leg bracket there. Tighten it up. Once you get your Allen key in there. I'll tighten up this side. So that's pretty much it. That's the Huracan Fab seat adapter kit installed. The only thing left It's just a seatbelt buckle, which is here. Huracan Fab supplier with a nut to go on. That should be all your nuts and screws used. Now, I usually go for the middle hole. Roughly do it up from there. And that's it. That's the Huracan Fab seat adapter kit installed on a VE seat for GU. Huracan fabrication. What a great piece of kit. Easy. So easy to install. So that's it, guys. Put your seats back in with the adapters in. All you got to do is line up your sliders with your original holes and bolt it back in. You might have the jiggle here and there, but they'll pretty much match up straight away. Move your sliders up and down, connect your wire for your seatbelt buckle to your original wire, so it's the original seatbelt buckle anyway, so it plugs straight back in. Do up your 4 bolts, and that's what I'm up to now. And if you have, just move your wheel to center it to your steering wheel, just undo your 4 bolts. That you'll connect to your plates to your actual VE seats, and you can just move your seat side to side to line it up with your steering wheel. So it's actually it's a half a day's job. That's all it's really taken, and now I've got 2 VE seats in here, and they look schmick, black. I've already have black interior with the Patrol. It is so comfortable compared to those Patrol seats. So all we've got to do is 2 more bolts. I've done the back ones up already, so let's do them up. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the install. Hope you get some good information about it and actually know how to do it, because it's quite simple.